Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Floppy Woppy Month. This is a film from 2003 that I saw that I did not care for when I saw it on DVD back in the day in the 2000s, and it's one of the worst adaptations of a book I've ever seen, and that is the live action Cat in the Hat movie. Why was this made, guys? Tell me. Because The Grinch from the year 2000, I do enjoy that movie for what it is. Yes, it has some stupid adult jokes, but I like the overall message of the film, just like the animated version from the 60s. This is horrible. This movie was so bad that it got a ton of Razzie nominations, horrible reviews from the critics, and it underperformed at the box office. So yes, it's a flop. And thanks to this movie, uh, Audrey Geisel, the widow of Dr. Seuss, said no more of her film, no more of her husband's work would ever be made into a film live action. Everything has to be animated now. That's why the 2018 Grinch was animated, because yeah, this movie was that bad. Now, what was wrong with this movie? Well, the film does look good, like the production value, some of the effects are okay, except for the CG. It looks terrible. The sets and the colors look really good, and some of the costumes are all right that the human cast wears, but the movie's just so bad. Like, it's horribly written. It's got stereotypes like that Asian lady, Mrs. Kwan. You have the freaking Mike Myers looks frightening as the cat. He's like really creepy as his white face, and he laughs a lot, like, and for some reason, Mike Myers is like looking at the camera a lot. I'm like, what are you, Deadpool? He winks at the camera and looks at the camera. Like, there's a scene literally that they're on a slide and they're going down, and they're like, this is amazing. It's like a ride in the amusement park. That's Spencer Breslin, the Abigail Breslin's brother. And then he looks at the camera. Is like, you mean like at Universal Studios? Cha-ching! And I'm like, oh my god, this movie's really annoying. Like, I don't know what the hell they were thinking with this movie. Like, Jim Carrey looks at the camera a couple times in The Grinch, but he's not like winking at the camera. He was uncomfortable doing that role with that makeup and the freaking contacts. With Mike Myers, it's like he's just trying to be over the top in a cartoon, but it doesn't work because he doesn't have much of a character. And in the book, it was fine. The Cat in the Hat. He was mischievous, but he wasn't an asshole. Here, he barely looks at the kids. He doesn't call them by name. They don't. I don't buy their bond at the end. Thing one and Thing two look frightening in the movie. Kelly Preston's barely in the movie as the mom. She's like works in this green room, and what's it call it? What was his name? Um, is it Sean? Is it Sean Harris or the guy from? Uh, Let me see. The guy from freaking Will and Grace. Sean Hayes, not Sean Harris. That's that British guy from Rogue Nation. Yeah, he's in the movie, and he's like, "You're fired!" And I'm like, "Oh my god, this movie's such a cartoon, and in a bad way." Spencer Breslin and Dakota Fanning, they have barely any energy in the movie. Dakota Fanning sounds like a robot. She's cute, but she's not like a robot. Alec Baldwin is not needed in the movie. He's this asshole that wants the kids to be, taken away. He's very hairy and fat, and it's disgusting. Um, what else? You have a Paris Hilton cameo. I don't know why that's in the movie where they're in a raid underground in like this freaking telephone booth or something like that. It's a booth, and they go in, and there's a bunch of people dancing, and it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. I know this is a nonsensical fantasy world, but they just took it too far. And you have the CGI fish that's barely in the movie too, also voiced by Sean Hayes. The narration, is weak compared to Anthony Hopkins. A cancel sequel, of course, because the movie bombed. Because it's horrible. It's horribly written. There's a bunch of sexual innuendos. There's super hydraulic instantaneous transporter. What does that spell? Shit, like this movie. Or there's a deleted scene. I'm not kidding. Where he says, "I remember this time where I got my things stuck in the door." I'm like, oh my god. and there's like butt shots, and there's kids that hit him with that they think he's a pinata, and they give him a low blow, and he's on a freaking swing, and there's a unicorn, and there's white lights like it's a flashback, and they have the freaking Lionel Richie song. I'm easy like a Sunday morning. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is not a kids movie. This is for kids, really. All these freaking adult jokes and winking at the camera, and pop culture references that are forced into the movie, and unfunny jokes, and him snapping his fingers, like it's just so bad. And it's sad that all of these the good production values of the sets and everything are wasted on this shitty movie. And it's just not fun. It's very, very underwhelming. It's nothing like the book. It's only 82 minutes long, so it's not too long, but it's just painful. And this is a frightening image. This is not a cute image for kids. This freaking Cat in the Hat poster is just shitty. And the movie deserves to bomb. I'm glad there was never a live action Lorax, or the Foot Book, or the One Fish, Red Fish, Two Fish, Blue Fish, or Green Eggs and Ham. No, I don't want to see that. I'd rather see it animated, done well. This is shitty. There's going to be an animated remake. Warner Animation Group announced that they have picked up the rights for the Cat in the Hat reboot. Please don't do it like this. Keep all the adult jokes out. You don't need this shit. You don't need to put Paris Hilton in the cameo. We don't need raves. We don't need freaking winking at the camera all the time, because Deadpool can do that because that's the kind of character he is. The Cat in the Hat never winks at the camera. Come on now. The rhyming, yeah. He's like, he tries to rhyme in the beginning, and he's like, I'm not so good with the rhyming. And I'm like, oh my God, really? The Cat in the Hat, a Dr. Seuss classic, can't rhyme. Yeah, blow me movie. And this movie deserved a bomb. It made 133 million worldwide against a budget of 109, but that doesn't include the freaking marketing, and the expenses they did to market this movie for kids. And yet this is a shitty movie. It was originally going to be Tim Allen, but he was doing Santa Claus 2. I rather watch Santa Claus 2. As flawed as that is, it's more watchable than this. And it said the film filled out its 82 minutes by adding new subplots and characters significantly different from the original, similar to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But again, How the Grinch Stole Christmas is funny. Jim Carrey alone carries that. He has a character, he sticks with it. Cindy Lou is cute. The movie has great music. It's got a wonderful score. It makes me feel something. This movie just angered me. And I'm like, this was supposed to be for young children? This disgusting wannabe PG-13 freaking uh, you know, uh, live action movie. This is worse than the Lion King movie from this year, because that's just a rehash that we've seen already. This is something that could have been good, and it's shitty, and it's unfunny, and it's dumb. And Mike Myers is restrained from the makeup and doesn't look comfortable, and the costume looks weird. And there's a scene where he dresses up as a female, and does a freaking dance. It's like they took him to the vet to cover all the boys poo 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 boy, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, all these. It's just who was the target audience for this movie, huh? Who was the target audience? Universal. It wasn't kids, because the jokes are too dirty for them, and it's not for adults because it's not smart enough to be compelling and have likable characters. The cat is an asshole, and he destroys everything, and then when he fixes things at the end, I'm like, yeah, and he has to wink at the camera all the time with his pedophile face. Yeah. If you've never seen this movie, don't, guys. You're not missing out. If you have kids, keep them far away from this shit. It's not for them. It's badly written. There's jokes that are going to go over their head. It's just not funny. They try to curse in it, and by winking at the camera, saying, "Oh yeah, we have adult humor in a PG movie for kids." And it doesn't work. It's just bad. The kid actors are robots in the movie, and they're better than this, because I've seen Spencer Breslin in better films, and Dakota Fanning, and her sister Elle Fanning. This is just horrible. Like, do not see The Cat in the Hat from 2003. It'll haunt your dreams. It's almost as bad as Son of the Mask. I think that's worse, because that's a shitty sequel to one of my favorite 90s films. This was just a bad adaptation of a kid's book that I read when I was a kid. And I used to watch the Dr. Seuss tapes when I was a kid as well. This is just horrible. Don't see this movie. Fuck the Cat in the Hat from 2003. You can do better. Trust me. They've done better, Dr. Seuss films. I'd rather see any of them than this. The Lorax was colorful and bright. The Grinch from last year was a nice surprise. This is garbage. Enough said about this tripe. Avoid the Cat in the Hat from 2003. It's a bad movie. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review. Peace.